Hi. So, I'm not sure I have much to say other than about this concept, other than sort of reporting on this concept that just struck me, and I thought maybe somebody out there would find as interesting as I do. I was listening to Michael Singer, as I do, and one of the things he was talking about is how, like, physical pain isn't bad. It's how the body talks to us, right? And tells us that there's something wrong. And that fear is how our psyche, our psychological well-being talks to us and tells us that something's wrong. So, yeah, I thought that's just a really interesting way of putting it. And things like anger, jealousy, anxiety, all those things, that's all fear. So all it's doing is telling you there's something wrong. But the thing that is wrong is not the thing that's causing the anxiety or this jealousy or whatever. The thing that's wrong is your psyche. And I mean, wrong is not the greatest word to use, right? The thing that needs attention or could be healed. Let's say that's better. Hi. But that's what it is, right? When you feel fear, which is anxiety or jealousy or anger or bitterness or resentment or shame, guilt, all that stuff, it's all fear. All of it is fear. And that is a signal, not that there's something wrong in the outside world, but there's something wrong on the inside world. Meaning something's unhealthy in the inside world. By wrong, I mean unhealthy. And that there's something that should be healed on the inside. So rather than looking out to the outside world when you're feeling these emotions to try and change what's going on that's causing these emotions, or let's say setting off, because the cause is really inside of you. The thing that's triggering, right? That's what the word trigger actually means. The things that are triggering the emotions are not the things that are the problem. One of the concepts he was talking about was that, like, take loneliness for an example. If you're lonely, people look around, how can I stop feeling loneliness, right? And they try and change things on the outside. They try and find people, and they hang out with people not because they like them, but because they're lonely. Or they find the person who makes them feel less lonely, when in fact the thing that's best to be looking, that's wisest to be looking at, is not feeling lonely within yourself, right? Because loneliness, again, is fear, right? So just keep that in mind when you are noticing that you are experiencing an uncomfortable emotion. Realize that it is just a signal, as pain is in the body. It is just a signal that there's something that needs to be healed. And rather than focusing on the outside and trying to fix whatever it is that's triggering, because if you keep looking for the triggers and you keep trying to change the triggers or stop the triggers from happening, you will never be happy. Never. Ever. Because there is always going to be something. There will always be something. So, the wise thing to do is recognizing the emotion, observing it, and allowing it to pass. Because it will pass. It's uncomfortable, but if you are balanced in the seat of self, right? You are balanced in the place where you are aware of the things in front of you, not caught up in them or not identifying with them. When you are in that place and you notice a disturbance, you observe it, you allow yourself to feel it. Notice what's going on in your body. Don't focus in on it. Just allow it and then do something else. It's there. That's fine. It can be there. You know, you do have to let it pass though. And the only way you're going to let it pass is if you don't clench around it, right? If you don't hold on to it, which is kind of an abstract concept, right? In a way, but we all know what it means. Although I didn't know what it means to let it go. So that's what I am trying to spread the word on, is how to let things go. And that is relaxing and releasing, observing, like the way you would observe a ripple on a pond, right? That's the kind of observing. And it takes practice. It takes practice, guys. I'm not totally... number one, there's never a there, right? I mean, maybe one day we can all work towards enlightenment, but in the meantime, all we can do is increase our level of enlightenment, right? And that means trial and error. It means learning, which other people see as failing, but it's not. Failing is not failing. Failing is learning, right? It's practice. And that's a useful concept that I'm finding as well, that I should do another video. I'm looking at everything as practice rather than, yeah, that's another whole video that I should do. I'll write that one down. But yeah, for now, that's all I wanted to say. And that I am really grateful to Mike and Brenda Shine for introducing me to Michael Singer. And I am grateful that I have been able to introduce the Untethered Soul and Surrender Experiment and his lectures and all that stuff to others, and have seen an immediate influence. Honestly, I was just talking to a friend of mine 2 weeks ago, well, a week and a half ago. I gave her the Untethered Soul, you know, and then like a week later she's like, it's amazing, it's changed my life. And I'm like, yeah. Right. And you know, same with everybody who actually reads this book is changed for the better, because it's just truth. And it's not a spiritual, I mean, it is a spiritual practice, but in the sense of it's not any one religious practice, right? It can fit into all of them. That being said, I'm grateful to the Shines for the lovely gift of freedom that I am achieving or working towards with Michael Singer stuff, and for the ability to share it and help others. So I am going to leave you with this thought as I go into the cafe, because I need a place to work that's not ooh, look at that. I've got some that whole time. Have you been looking at that whole time? Yep. Okay, that whole time. Hopefully that was amusing you all. Not that I'm self-conscious about those things. Anyway, I'm gonna remind you. See, I'm feeling a disturbance. That's a disturbance. Let's not do that in front of the, yeah, see, and let's not do that in front of the window, right? Okay, so that's a disturbance. I'm noticing it. It's not my favorite, but it's an interesting experience. It's like up here and like down here in my heart, working on my diction. And it's gonna pass. This is the thing, it'll pass. And then when it passes, the more you let it go, the more it won't come back. So I'm gonna go because I needed a place to do some meetings from that wasn't in disarray. Anyway, I will say to you guys that if I can choose to be grateful for all of this stuff, then I would hope that you guys always remember that you can always choose to have a grateful day.